Hi everyone, how are we doing? A little bit exciting today because I got a lovely gift in school and it is absolutely perfect for one of my read alouds. Some people have brought gifts and cards and had lovely messages come through with lots of thanks. So thank you very much for those. And I had one today and it is this. And it's called Mrs. Eaton's Perfect Pet Dinosaur. And today is going to be my last read aloud. So what a perfect way to end my read alouds with a very own book with my name on it. And this was from Henry. So really, really big thank you. I know Henry listens to all my read alouds, as do lots of you. And how lovely that this is a treat that we can all enjoy. So I haven't read it yet. I thought I would wait and we could share it together. So let's find out what I get up to in this story. Mrs. Eaton was desperate to own a pet. I'm not quite sure how you knew, Henry, but I definitely am. But Mr. Eaton says no. What sort of creature should I get? The pet Mrs. Eaton wants can't be found in a store, because Mrs. Eaton really wants a dinosaur. And there I am, with my very cool hat on, coming out of the pet store. I can't find a dinosaur in the pet store. A Tyrannosaurus Rex would be really cool. People will gasp as I ride him to school. Tyrannosaurus Rex means terrible lizard king. Mrs. Eaton knew this pet was just the thing. But the giant T-Rex caused a great fuss when Mrs. Eaton rode it to school instead of the bus. I look like I'm having a great time, don't I? Riding my T-Rex. When Mrs. Eaton arrived, teachers screamed in fright at the size of the teeth in the T-Rex bite. Rexy's foot-long teeth looked really scary. Owning this pet would make me too wary. This is a disaster, Mrs. Eaton said, not knowing what to do. I wanted a dinosaur, but Rex, it can't be you. Oh, that's a shame. An ankylosaurus has armour just like a knight. Her thick, plated skin keeps her safe from a fight. If anyone attacks Anky, she'll soon make them wail with a powerful whack from her club-like tail. Mrs. Eaton had lots of games for this new playmate. Owning this dinosaur is going to be great. We can play fetch, said Mrs. Eaton, throwing a ball. But the ankylosaurus couldn't run at all. Anky's short legs meant she couldn't walk very fast. Mrs. Eaton saw that this friendship just couldn't last. You can't play very well with something this slow, said Mrs. Eaton. I'm sorry, Anky, but you'll have to go. Oh, I'm very hard to please in this story. Maybe a Triceratops would make a fun playmate. They'd play together. Mrs. Eaton couldn't wait. This will be a much friendlier pet dinosaur and won't have sharp teeth because he's a herbivore. I'll be the striker and Triceratops the goalie. But Triceratops headed the ball and made it all holy. Why did he make it holy? Yeah, the horns, not very good for heading the ball. Three-horned face is the meaning of a Triceratops. No wonder the football was easily popped. The ball flew around, deflating with a whee. Maybe you're not the dinosaur for me. I'm loving this football kit. I think I may need to get one of those. Perhaps bigger is better, Mrs. Eaton thought. So, a Brachiosaurus was the next thing they bought. A Brachiosaurus is one of the biggest dinosaurs. He has a long neck and tail and walks on all fours. He weighs more than 5 elephants put together, and his skin feels like old rubbery leather. There he is. He looks a bit like the one out of The Good Dinosaur. Mrs. Eaton wanted to play, but Brachie wanted lunch. This dino is boring. All he does is munch. All day long, this dinosaur would chew. Eating was the only thing it wanted to do. I'm taking you back, Mrs. Eaton said with a frown. It had eaten every leaf off every tree in town. Look at the leaves. Mrs. Eaton thought, I'll try a dinosaur that's small. A velociraptor's only about 2 feet tall. In Greek, Velociraptor means speedy thief. Mrs. Eaton hoped that this pet wouldn't cause any grief. The raptor was friendly and happy to play indoors, but Mrs. Eaton didn't think about the raptor's big claws. "This pet is the best," Mrs. Eaton started to boast. Then the raptor used the couch as a scratching post. The 3-inch claws tore the pillows to shreds, a sight which filled Mrs. Eaton with dread. "You're getting me in trouble with Mum. Perhaps I'll choose a different prehistoric chum." Uh-oh. Oh dear. Mrs. Eaton had an idea to put the pet plan on track and thought of a dinosaur with a spiky back. Roof lizard is the meaning of the name Stegosaurus, who might look scary, but he's a Vegisaurus. Mrs. Eaton didn't know Stegosauruses aren't too bright. They use their tails to protect them if they get a fright. Stegosaurus got startled and flung his tail with a swish. Now Mrs. Eaton started regretting the wish. Bang! The spiky tail knocked down each wall. It's not Steggy's fault. His brain is so small. Mrs. Eaton hadn't given up on dinosaurs. "The next pet, I think I'll keep outdoors." Oh, and he's knocked all of the walls down. Uh-oh. What about a pet that can soar through the sky? Mrs. Eaton thought. I've always fancied a pet that could fly. Pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs, strictly speaking. But could this be the pet that Mrs. Eaton was seeking? This winged lizard is called a pterosaur, and through the sky he can swoop and soar. But owning this flying pet caused a big riot, because the pterosaur needed a fishy diet. He would disappear, flying miles to the coast. Stealing fish and chips was what he loved to do most. When he came back, he'd just fly round and round, doing great big poos all over the ground. "Ugh," cried Mrs. Eaton. "I don't like this pet. This flying lizard is the worst dino yet." And there is my name, written in dinosaur poo. Plesiosaur means almost lizard because when it was discovered, it made scientists pause. Plesiosaurs can swim and can't walk on land, but dinosaurs have hip joints that allow them to stand. Mrs. Eaton still wanted a plesiosaurus to adore, even though it's not technically a dinosaur. It was a good job Mrs. Eaton only got a small one. These plesiosaurs can grow over 3 meters long. I could keep it in the bathtub. It won't be a pain, Mrs. Eaton thought. But Mrs. Eaton was wrong again. His paddle-like flippers and super long neck had turned the bathroom into a complete wreck. The watery reptile caused the bath to overflow. Plesiosaurs and plumbing just don't go. Uh-oh. Oh dear. It's not very good. What pet do you think I might get in this story? Do you think I will get a pet? Or will it be like real life and I'll have to go without? Mrs. Eaton started wishing for another pet, but paused, seeing the terrible mess that they'd caused. Each of the prehistoric pets had left a big mess. These dinosaur pets caused too much stress. Mrs. Eaton then thought, maybe my pet wish should be something simple, like a goldfish. And that is the end. And there is me with a dinosaur A to Z. And it says, hope you enjoyed this book, Mrs. Eaton. Now, I think Mr. Eaton will be very, very happy at the thought of me just getting a goldfish. So maybe I could try that and see if that works. Now, that was the first time I've ever read this story, and I am so, so pleased and really, really grateful that I now have a book with my own name on. So thank you so, so much, Henry, and I really hope you all enjoyed that story and it made you laugh as much as it did me. And thank you again so much to all those wonderful message and cards and gifts that I've received so far. It's really, really lovely. I can't believe that tomorrow is the last day before the summer holidays, but we've already been thinking about how super we are going to be when you all come back as year 2. And I've had messages and seen some of my current year 2s that will be becoming year 3. And as sad as it is that I won't be able to see you before the summer, I know that you're just going to do just fine and be absolutely amazing for Mrs. Simeoli in year 3. So if I don't see you before, have an amazing summer. Please keep in touch and let me know what you've been busy getting up to. Those of you in school with me tomorrow, we have got some lovely things going on, and I have got something special for you in school at the end of the day. Those of you who are not in school, I will keep yours safe, ready for you in September. Okay, so thank you again. I hope you enjoyed that story. Sleep tight, everybody. One more day to go, one more get up. Okay, night night. Bye.